What's going on, Jags Nation? It's Brett James back again with another video. And today, man, I got a really interesting topic. Now that we're kind of in the dead point of the offseason, where we just got done with mandatory minicamp and OTAs, there's nothing really crazy going on right now. We're kind of just waiting to see what's going to go on during training camp as well. So I got an interesting video today. I'm going to be talking about 5 potential breakout stars for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm not going to be using the rookie class at all. So guys like Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, Andre Cisco, Walker Little, Jay Tufele, and the entire rookie class are not going to be eligible for this list. I just kind of want guys that have been free agents, that have signed with the teams, or guys that are returning back to the team this year. And I'm going to give you guys 5 potential breakout stars for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2021 NFL season. So let's stop wasting time, man. Let's hop right into this video though. Now, I want to start off with an honorable mention, and this may come as a surprise to some people. I'm going to put DJ Chark as my honorable mention number 1. Now, DJ Chark obviously had a down year last year after making the Pro Bowl back in 2019, but some of that was due to the fact that he just didn't have a quarterback throwing him the ball properly. Whether it was Minshew, Jake Luton, Mike Glennon, you name it. DJ Chark is clearly the wide receiver number 1 on this team, and I think having a guy like Marvin Jones Jr. and Laviska Shenault heading into his second year is definitely going to help DJ Chark develop, because DJ Chark has the capability of making those 50-50 ball catches up in the air. He's got the physical tools to succeed at this level, and he's clearly shown the ability to create separation and to be able to get separation off the corners in the secondary. But the problem is he's never had the quarterback to properly get him the ball. So that's why I've got DJ Chark as my honorable mention. Now let's move on to number 5. I've got right tackle Jawaan Taylor. Another surprise I think that's going to happen on this list. Jawaan Taylor, after being a second-round pick back in 2019 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, right tackle out of the University of Florida, has shown a lot of promise in his 2 years in the league. And even though there's not really a lot of advanced analytical stats that back up how well Jawaan Taylor's played, if you've watched him, even though he does struggle, he's a very young player. He's definitely had a decent amount of holding calls against him. That's going to be any young offensive lineman in this game. And Jawaan Taylor has shown the ability to be the right tackle of the future with this team as well. After playing 32 games, not missing a single game in his NFL career, I think Jawaan Taylor is primed for a big year. And what's really going to help Jawaan Taylor out a lot this year, not just the fact that he's heading into year 3 where he's now got experience under him, it's the fact that he's got a guy in Trevor Lawrence now who's going to be able to get the ball out a lot quicker than guys like Gardner Minshew, Mike Glennon, Nick Foles, and a handful of others. Jawaan Taylor's going to have a good quarterback behind him, and now I think Jawaan Taylor's primed for a big year this year in 2021. Now heading into my 4th potential breakout star for the Jags in 2021 has got to be defensive end / linebacker K'Lavon Chaisson, our number 20 overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft, the pick that we acquired from the Los Angeles Rams in that trade for Jalen Ramsey. Chaisson, for the most part, was non-existent at least the first 10 weeks of the season. It felt like it was looking like he was taking some time to get his NFL legs under him, but toward the end of the season, I think the last 6 to 7 weeks of the season, he really made a noticeable difference. And even though the stats don't really back it up, he only had one registered sack on the season, 3 tackles for a loss, and 12 QB pressures. But Chaisson, when you watch the film, definitely turned it up as the season went on, and he looked a lot more comfortable in his role. And Chaisson, I think, is primed for a breakout year, because now that the Jags are going to be moving to a 3-4 defense with Joe Cullen now, he's going to be able to play outside linebacker and still be able to rush the passer. I think that's going to help him out tremendously, because that's where his natural position really is, not so much on the defensive end, even though he still will be lined up there at times. Chaisson, I think, is primed for a breakout year. Coming in at number 3, give me CJ Henderson, the first-round cornerback, pick number 9 overall in last year's 2020 NFL draft. CJ Henderson only started in 8 games last year due to some injuries. He did have a groin injury that did sit him out a majority of the season last year, and he did have labrum surgery this offseason as well, so he's still recovering from that. Urban Meyer's made it very clear that he will be ready by training camp, and he has made some successful strides during minicamp and during OTAs as well. So I expect CJ Henderson to be a full go once training camp begins, and CJ Henderson did show a lot of promise in his rookie year as well. And it was very evident even week 1 that he was showing a lot of promise versus T.Y. Hilton, one of the better receivers in the NFL. And CJ Henderson, even against one of the top wideouts in the NFL, and Devontae Adams, held his own in that game, and the Jags actually almost won that game. Thank goodness they didn't, because then they wouldn't have landed the number 1 overall pick. And what gives me more confidence about CJ Henderson heading into year 2 is the fact that Todd Wash is not a defensive coordinator. I think most Jags fans can testify and say that Todd Wash was a garbage defensive coordinator outside of 1 year with Jacksonville, but he had a lot of talent on that team. CJ Henderson is going to be heading into his second year in the NFL after playing college at a university in the state of Florida, at University of Florida. Jalen Ramsey was playing at Florida State University heading into year 2. The Jags signed AJ Boye during that 2017 offseason, cornerback out of University of Central Florida. The Jags this year signed cornerback at a UCF, Shaquille Griffin, over from the Seattle Seahawks. And now, CJ Henderson's primed for a breakout year, Shaquille Griffin as well. AJ Boye and Jalen Ramsey were terrific, and that is an understatement during that Jacksonville year. And Shaquille Griffin and CJ Henderson are looking to replicate that. Now, I'm not saying CJ Henderson and Shaquille Griffin are going to be AJ Boye and Jalen Ramsey 2.0, but there's a lot of similarities there, and I think CJ Henderson is primed for a breakout year if he can stay healthy this year. Coming in at number 2, give me Josh Allen, defensive end out of the University of Kentucky, our first round pick back in 2019. And Josh Allen, same as CJ Henderson last year, only appeared in 8 games, having a down year last year, but we all know what Josh Allen's capable of doing when healthy, and we saw the explosiveness of this guy in his rookie year, having 10.5 sacks and making a Pro Bowl appearance just in his first year alongside Calais Campbell. Josh Allen is an absolute monster on the defensive line and one of the faces to this franchise. Now, I want to give you guys a quick funny story real quick, and I'm going to expose myself real quick and the Jags fan that I am. I was at the draft party back in 2019 at TIAA Bank Field when they were hosting it at the Daly's place. And I got this clip right here of me being upset that the Jags took Josh Allen with the number 7 overall pick. Now, I want to explain myself before I show you guys that clip. I wasn't personally mad that the Jags took Josh Allen specifically. I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for Josh Allen. This guy stands up for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He stands up for the community, and he is a stand-up father figure as well. Josh Allen, we love you very much. But I wasn't upset because it was Josh Allen. I was upset because the Jags took another defensive lineman in the draft in the first round when we had just taken Dante Fowler a couple years back. Then the year before we had taken Taven Bryan, who's an absolute bust. And then we take another defensive lineman with Josh Allen. At the time, I was like, okay, there's other parts on the team that we need to address, not defensive line, because we still had Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, and we had taken Taven Bryan the year before. We had Avery Jones and a handful of others. But Josh Allen obviously turned out to be an amazing player. We love Josh Allen. Now let me expose myself. Here's that clip real quick.
Jacksonville Jaguars select Josh Allen.
And what's funny is I actually met Josh Allen and Jawan Taylor a couple months later at a Topgolf. Here's some pictures real quick so you guys can see. Like I said, just amazing guys, stand-up dudes. And I've met a lot of Jags players, but Josh Allen and Jawan Taylor really were some amazing guys. And let me make it clear yet again, I wasn't mad that we took Josh Allen specifically. It was just the fact that we had taken a defensive lineman. So I just wanted to expose myself real quick. I thought that was hilarious. Now on to my number 1 guy that I believe is primed for a breakout season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Has got to be second-year wide receiver Laviska Shenault. Now the reason I say Laviska Shenault is because if you've been paying attention to the Jags offseason and the work that this man's been putting in, this man gained muscle. And that's crazy to think because Laviska Shenault was already a physical receiver, as you can see in the highlight tapes, just running over dudes consistently. And this guy is going to be amazing in the slot, or even when we line him up once in a while on the outside alongside DJ Chark and Marvin Jones Jr. Laviska Shenault is primed for a breakout year. You have heard nothing but great things coming out of minicamp and OTAs from Urban Meyer and the whole staff when it comes to Laviska Shenault. The work this guy's put in, and you can see it. Laviska Shenault, I believe, is going to be a potential 1,000-yard receiver this year. This man is going to burst onto the scene for the Jacksonville Jaguars if he can stay healthy. Laviska Shenault, I believe, is going to be the next Jarvis Landry. I think that's the most fair comparison for this guy. I don't believe I'm getting ahead of myself because if you know Laviska Shenault and you've seen the work that this guy puts in, this guy is an absolute man amongst boys when it comes to him on the field versus these other guys. Laviska Shenault will be a key factor to this Jags offense in 2021. Now that's it for this video. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know who are some prime breakout players that you guys have for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021. And I also want to hear what you guys thought about my guys I have primed to break out in 2021 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe down below for more NBA and, of course, Jacksonville Jaguars content here on YouTube. And if you guys are new to me, I just want to let you guys know that I am going to be flying out to Houston week 1 of the NFL season. And, of course, I've got my season tickets locked up for the 2021 season. I am beyond excited for this year and to go see Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer's NFL debut out in Houston with my boy Stefan. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more Jags content. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'm out, boys. Peace!